Hey guys, what's up? It's AB Trading. Today I'm going to do my first time ever for this thing, doing a Sunday little breakdown of stocks that people in the group chat shouted out, both from the Learn Plan Profit group and from my Discord group, Options Traders. So we're going to see how this goes. Again, this is only my personal opinion. All trading, like you can have a bazillion different traders look at the same chart, have a bazillion different entries and a bazillion different exits, and most of them will make money, all trading different things. So again, this is my personal opinion, but here we go, the Sunday stock breakdown day.
It means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden.
Alright guys, I couldn't do a breakdown of stocks without first covering SPY, which is the ETF of the S&P 500 index, because this is what the overall market is. This is what basically determines these big name stocks, which direction they're moving. So let's take a look. So obviously we were uptrending in the past. This is the past 1 year on the 4-hour chart, just starting on a long-term time frame, and do these for all the stocks. So obviously we have a little bottom here that we formed. We never fully hit this level again, and then we started putting in what is called these higher lows, which is indicative of an uptrend. However, we were still putting in lower highs, which is indicative of a downtrend, which means we were consolidating. So when you're trading, you like to connect all your lines, just show which way we're actually starting to break out. I'm sorry if my voice seems to crack some, but when you're talking for a long time, it happens. So obviously we're starting to condense here, and we're starting to break out above these ranges. And as you can see, we have a previous high here, and our next previous high that we need to hit is here. So obviously we're trading in between this range here. So this is our current range. We're trading in here. So obviously I would say the bulls are more in control here, but we still are having some whips in between this. So obviously your trades would be bounces in between this line until we have a solid break above 274.27, or we have a break below 270. So if we have a break below, we're looking for short or puts in this case, and if we're looking for the break above, we're looking for calls up to around the 280 level. So that is what we're expecting in the market to come. A little bit more consolidation, but I'm expecting a gap up on Monday afternoon when they open at around 5 my time. I'm talking about the futures. A gap up, and then I'm looking for a run into the 280 level this week. That would be something awesome, but again, I don't know what's going to happen. So let's move on to the first stock, which is BABA. So obviously we're trading in this horizontal level here. We're hitting this level, and we're getting stuck in between this level, just like in SPY, we're getting stuck in between a trading level here. So we're going up and down in between this. Easy money for trading, day trading calls and puts. If you enter a call here and enter a put here, you can easily just go back and down and forth. But obviously we push down, and then we're building some momentum to the upside, but then we got rejected at this resistance level. So the same thing I said for SPY. If we break above this 202 level, we can see a return up to this 206 level. If we break below this 192 level, 193, we can see a slow move back down to this 170 to 175 level. Now I'm going to go in, and we can look at a closer time frame here. So what are the patterns of this stock? So obviously we have a tendency to do huge pushes up and down in the morning, but it's not indicative of how it's going to move the rest of the day. Obviously pre-market plays a lot of, it gives a lot of levels here, because look, it bounced off this pre-market level. When we bounce here, when we push above, we consolidated on this pre-market level here, and then we push back up. So obviously these pre-market levels are significant. But again, if you want to trade triangles, again, a lot of action happens. This is more of a momentum type trading stock, it looks like. I don't see any solid patterns here, but definitely more of a support and resistance play. Now next stock is Facebook. So Facebook looking long term, we have this huge sell-off due to the data privacy and the data whatever, and all that good stuff. I forgot exactly, but obviously we push up through all these resistance levels. Now we're starting to come down. We're starting to form. Potentially we come into here, we form a little triangle moving up to this breakout, up to this 195 level. That's one option. Another option is that we just hit the peak of this resistance area, and we're going to come back down to this 170 level. So obviously, if it breaks below 181, we're looking for a retracement back to the 170. If we break above this 188 level, we're looking back to a 195 level trade on Facebook. If we go into an intraday play here, just like Baba, it has a lot of huge moves, but it usually sets up before it moves a lot. Let's look at the past few days here. So obviously we're trading in this, I would call this a triangle range here before the breakout. A few triangles here before breakout, right? So obviously this is more of a pattern stock. I really wish I brought water because it's going to get bad. Triangle play here. So this is also more of a support and resistance using the pre-market levels. I'm going to actually pause the video here and go get water. Sorry guys, I needed water. So the next stock is MU or Micron. So obviously we've been bouncing in this range here where we hit this bottom where the previous consolidation was. And we're making our way. We made our shoot up. Back up to this level of 62, the 62 level. So obviously we'll be looking for a reversal here. The reversal, I say, if we pass through 60, then that will be our reversal. I think we can. It would come back around to this level between 57 and 55 would be a nice retracement level. Again, if we hit below 60, again we can hit in between 60 here, building for something to break up above this level. But of course, I don't see it. This has just been running too much. We need to see a bit of a retracement. I think 60 is a solid move. Again, just to give us an indication of where this thing can actually bounce, we can use a fib retracement here from the bottom all the way up to here. So obviously, we can see a retracement, a healthy retracement down to this level here before we continue upward. Again, if we pass through this 59 level, we can see it bounce right back here at this 61.8% of the fib retracement. So again, that's just something else to look at. Let's see if I can remove the fib because I never use that. Crap. Whatever, I'll move that later. Let's go into a closer time frame here and let's look at. Maybe I can delete it here. Remove. Yes. So obviously, Micron also puts in some pre-market levels here, as in a pre-market support here, and a pre-market high here, and we respect that. Obviously, this is more of a support and resistance play here, where we know where our support is, we know where our resistance level here. Oh crap. Sorry. But we still have nice breakouts according to my standards. Again, if you use an RSI strategy or you use the support and resistance play, use a VWAP strategy, use whatever strategy you use, it can work well. Micron does have some nice intraday moves, and again, we can see a retracement coming on this one because it does seem a little overextended. Now let's move to the next stock, which is Twitter. Let's again take a look at the long frame. We know what's going on here. So Tradier been bouncing around and also have the same security flaw as Facebook. And so we have this huge dip down, and now we're slowly retracing our way back up. We're hitting into this $34 resistance level. So we can see a nice pull back to the 32 or 33 level before continuing up. Or we can just break above this 34 and continue up. Now let's look at the intraday plays. So the intraday plays here are, again, huge moves in the morning. So again, you can backtest your strategy on this. But again, it is more of a support and resistance play. As you can see here, we have pre-market support here. When we break below that support, we just crashed. And again, we have pre-market resistance here. When we broke above that, we just soared. And the same thing here, and the same thing here. So again, just gather your strategy. So that's Twitter 2 minute. Now let's go to AMD. This is another highly requested one. I pulled up this chart and already had all these lines on it. I was like, oh sweet. Which is weird because I mean I did it in the past. I traded AMD. I swing traded it when it was between this range here. Because it was just it was easy money swing trading until I got more into the day trading aspect of it. But as you can see here, we hit this support, and now we're pushing up into this $14 resistance level. Obviously, it is a little overextended here. It's been pushing too much. We can see a nice retracement down to this $12 level, in my opinion. This is where all the previous consolidation is. So I can see it hitting up here near the 14, and then pulling back to the 13 level or the 1250 level before we continue up or before we retrace back to this 10. So obviously, only time will tell on that one. Now let's go back and look at the intraday patterns. Again, the volume is not the greatest on this stock, but it still offers nice patterns. I would not personally trade this, but options wise, but stock wise, I think it's definitely a good play. Macy, another requested stock here. Obviously, we've been staircasing up. So we came down and we bounced back. So obviously it looks like our next play is going to be a bounce off here back up to the 33.55 level. And then if we come up and we break above, then we're going to use this, and this resistance will become new support, and we'll bounce off that. Or we'll come up here, we'll hit there, we'll hit here, and then we'll break above. That's another predicted move. That is my basis, or we'll just keep and a horizontal pattern right there. Let's look at the intraday patterns here as well. So obviously, support and resistance play a crucial role here. So I got water. Sorry, I just turned on my light, but my light went off. So obviously we have this support and resistance levels here. I don't know why. This must have been earnings. I don't really know. I don't know what's happening there. Something. It's not just normal stock movement. But again, this is more of a support and resistance VWAP play intraday. Nothing that I would personally see. I don't see my setups. Again, whatever your trading strategy is, look for stocks that have and set up your trading strategy and your plan over and over so that you can trade those same patterns. You have to wait and be patient and trade only what your trading setup allows you to trade. Next is Love or Southwest, Airlines. I've never been on a plane before, but I really want to be on a plane. Obviously, we've been uptrending previously. Now we're hitting more into a horizontal pattern here. So we hit more this $51 support level. So obviously, if we break above 53.57, we can see we can see it push up to the $59 support, which is about 10% away from its current level. Maybe we can get a push back up to 664. Not likely though. It does semi look like a head and shoulders pattern. But again, I can see it pushing back up to the 59 level before retracing. For a swing trade. Now, if we're looking at the intraday patterns, it does have, looks like a nice wedge pattern is forming when it is trending. So obviously you have to find it when it's trending. This is why I need more water. I mean, I'm not sick anymore, but obviously my body still can't take 100% of what it did. Netflix. Here we go. We're currently breaking out of this triangle pattern here. What I am personally looking for is a retracement back down to this 344 level, or the 340 level. A pull down here, and then a continuation upward. That's what I'm personally looking for. Again, when Netflix is trending and intraday, it has a lot of good plays. As we can see here on Wednesday, well, when we were trending, we had a lot of good plays. Well, when I mean good plays, like plays that match my criteria. I don't know if it matched yours, but it matched mine. And also here, we just had some very good setups, and the options on Netflix are very good, solid, liquid, something that you can continually trade. So that is a great trade. I love Netflix is one of my top stocks when outside of SPY and SPX when they're not as volatile. Last stock is Tesla. Obviously, then apparently they went bankrupt, which I heard was just a joke. I don't really know. but we're breaking through supports here. We're just slowly, gradually downtrending. So I'm going to see this slowly retrace down to the 250 level. Slowly but surely, I'm not too sure we're going to reverse here. But again, anything is possible. I would note a reversal, which means back up to the 310 level when we cross above 290. I can see it going up to 310, but if we cross below here, I can see it slowly going down to 250. But so that's for swing trading. Now let's look at the intraday patterns here. Obviously, we have huge movement in the beginning of the morning, but it looks like we set up for huge moves here, and then we break down. Obviously, but you have to wait more for the middle of the day to catch these plays, which again is fine if you work in the morning or something. But again, that is my stock breakdown. I probably went way too long, but I hope you guys found some good information in it.